What do you think are some of the difference in characteristics between group 1 and group 2, right? And how do you think more people can make sure, right, that it can be group 1 where they actually achieve the results they want in a much faster, in a much better manner?
Yeah, I think one of the key things I observe between students who succeed and those who don't succeed is that the one that succeed really focus on what they do, right? I think it's back to the previous point about really being focused and not having that shiny object syndrome and chasing the next thing, you see. If you understand what works, right, just focus on that until you succeed, right? I mean, there's this saying, right? Focus stands for focus one course until succeed. That's the acronym, They say focus, that's the acronym. So I think that's one of the key traits to really have that focus, and that focus also requires I think a lot of discipline. I think most investors understand the logic. For example, right? Buy low, sell high, right? That's the most common thing, right? And recently we have seen the market come down to the low, but most people would not have bought at that point, right? We just did a poll in our own community of students, right, where we ask people, like, hey, how many of you all bought some shares of those great companies during the market crash, which happened about 2 weeks ago. My own belief is the market crash is already over, right? So when we asked them that, very few people said they bought shares, and it's because they were paralyzed by that market crash, right? It's also a form of FOMO, right? It's not the fear of missing out, but the fear of catching the falling knife. But we know that the market is on offer. So while everybody understands intellectually that you should go in and buy when it's cheap and then sell when everyone is talking about shares and everything is very high, but it's emotionally very hard to execute as an investor, right? To go in and buy when everyone is running out of the market. It is very counterintuitive. That's why being in the community is very important. And I would say, unfortunately, even when you are in the community, in my case, when we kept on telling students that, hey, now might be a great opportunity to go in and have a look, but students are still reluctant to jump back in because of that lack of focus and discipline, right? When you know something that is cheap, you know that the theory is go in and buy is cheap when it's cheap, but when you see the price come down, you have this fear of, wow, what if I buy already continue to drop? Whereas the more important question is, if I bought it at this price and it continues to drop, I should be buying more. And if I have no more cash to buy at this point in time, then look at the overall market, is that the market will always recover. Right? So I think one of the key things for people is that understanding what works, focus on what works, and then have the discipline to carry it out. So I guess these are the two traits I always see in investors. And I think the funny thing is that usually the more unsophisticated investors, meaning the one that don't think so much, right? I tend to see more results from them because they are just by the book, right?
Okay, let's go.
Let's go. Like when I tell them that, Google less than, maybe this is not investment advice, but when I tell them, hey, when Google dropped to like 1,100, it's good price, like fantastic, I will buy myself. Then they will be like, you're going to buy? So like intellectually very advanced on, they'll be like, hey, but what if this, what if that, what if Google don't come back and things like that, then they don't take action. So they're not focused, they keep thinking about like what else. Whereas the honest truth is when things are cheap, just go and buy. That's simple.
So as in what I'm hearing, right, is that there's a lot of people that it's really to succeed, right, at least from the investor's point of view, or what we generally do, right, which is that, hey, when the opportunity comes, right, don't think simple, just take action, right, and just purchase it, right? Your strategy and your game plan has to be like, okay, if it goes down further, then my job is just to buy more, right?